So
I want to make sure we don't miss something. Make sure you jump all the way back.
Okay.
So you were brought up without any religious background?
no religious background. I don't know that I'd say that my family was atheist or agnostic. I think that toward organized religion, there was some indifference. Okay. I was raised by my mom, and next door to our house, whenever I was a kid, it's no longer there, was a Pentecostal church. And I thought that the church existed for me to ramp my bike off of, because it had a great porch and it had a long sidewalk, and if the little ladies weren't carrying casserole dishes into the church on Sunday, then I thought this is a great place to hang out. And I remember I would sit sometimes between our fence and the southern wall of that church, and I would listen to them singing on Sundays, and I thought it was cool. I didn't really know that they were singing songs to God, and I really didn't even know what they were doing there, but I remember thinking how neat that people go to this building, on Sundays and Wednesday nights. And I remember asking my mom whenever I was really young, what's this all about? And not ever really getting a favorable answer of what they were. I don't think that she disliked them or necessarily dislikes Christianity, but it wasn't an environment where she was going to say, well, maybe you should go over there and find out. So I'd say as a small child, I really had no opinion of Christian matters until a little bit later, and I'll get into that in a second. So.
All right. So it didn't really plant a seed towards the Pentecostal church growing up. You just didn't even connect with it. No,
not at all. And in fact, there was a gas meter on the corner of our property. This was a little bit later than that. I'd say that was my first very nominal introduction to Christianity, just seeing these people with casserole dishes on Sundays and Bibles. And thought, well, there's something to this church thing. That's where people go. People from school tell me they go there. And I had a friend of mine that lived down the road, and we used to sit out by the gas meter in front of our property. And I remember asking him about it. We were 6, 7, very theologically minded people. And I said, what? You go to the church. What do they do in there? And I remember him saying, well, we go there because we love Jesus. And I said, I've heard of Jesus, and he goes, well, he loves you, and he wants you to pray to him, and he wants to save you. And of course, salvation really meant nothing. Prayer didn't mean a whole lot. And I remember even asking then, say, well, what's prayer? And he'd say, well, just talk to him. He's there. I remember asking and praying things whenever I was really young and seeing them answered. And I knew, well, hey, there's something to this. There's something much bigger than me. There is a reality that's there that I can't explain, and he's working in a way that I cannot comprehend. Now, I couldn't have told you that he came from, that his story was primarily recorded in the New Testament. I couldn't have told you anything like that. But I did know that there were these people that went to church. My friend told me about Jesus at the gas meter, and whenever I asked him to do something, it seems like he seemed to do it. Wow. And he gave me a peace when sometimes, because of things that were going on, I needed it. And that he introduced himself to me first. It wasn't something that I went after looking for him, but I believe that he, through the mouth of a babe, a young kid, planted a seed initially in my life, and I'll say it lay dormant for several years, but that's how it was first introduced.
Well, in some ways, that really does connect with the Catholic way of understanding that there's a sense, as Augustine St. Augustine talks about that need, that God-shaped thing within us,
right.
That our heart yearns for that's in everybody.
Absolutely.
That's why we believe in evangelization. We're going out to tap that thing that's already there in somebody that's covered up by all the junk of their life. And praise God for this little friend of yours that brought it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have thought that what church was all about was casserole dishes.
Yeah, and thankfully it is sometimes. I'm very thankful that a lot of times, whenever I was a minister, we had a church that had a lot of casserole dishes, and I'm eternally grateful for that.
Well, you're a golfer, and I remember an old joke about a guy who always watched guys play golf but didn't know what it was about.
Yeah.
And then what he thought golf was about was you hit this ball to know where you're to drive your cart. That's what golf is.
Sure.
And it maps out where you're going to drive your cart.
Yeah.
And people can misunderstand what church is all about if you just watch it from the outside, and you don't, as people don't understand the Catholic Church because they'll see it from the outside.
Yeah.